and welcome once again. Right now, Magic Online is kind of on the fritz. There's no daily events because they're trying to fix some problems. But 8-man queues are still firing, so I'm going to try to bring a couple 8-mans for you. Today, I am running a blue-white control deck. And a lot of people are playing Esper right now, but I think blue-white has an edge on it, and because of that, because of the mana base. If you look at the mana base, it's only 10 non-basic lands. We have 4 Hollowed Fountains and 4 Azorius Guild Gates, and then 2 Mutavaults. And then we have 16 basic lands. Because of that, we take less damage. We time walk ourselves less because we can actually play spells on the right turns. A lot of time, like Esper, they can't play Supreme Verdict turn 4 without taking 2 damage, or because like they have too many tap lands. But we have that problem a lot less with blue white. Like it still happens. We still play 4 Hollowed Fountains and 4 Guild Gates, but with 16 basic lands, it's a lot smoother. And I think the loss of black removal spells isn't that bad. We have some other things to compensate for that. So let's look at the deck list. We have a lot of removal spells. We have 4 Detention Spheres, which can get rid of any non-land permanent besides Detention Sphere. 2 Celestial Flare. Those are really good against hexproof creatures, Mutavaults, Mistcutter Hydras, things you can't normally deal with. Then we have 4 Supreme Verdicts, which kill everything. Then we're playing a lot of counter spells in this build. We're actually playing 7 main deck. We have 3 Dissolve, which is awesome. I'm very impressed with the card. And then we have 2 Syncopates, and then we have 2 Essence Scatters. And along with those, we have some Cantrips. We have 3 Divinations. We have 4 Sphinx Revelations. We're not playing 3 because we always want to draw one. Like, Blue White Red and Blue White in the past has played only 3 because they can usually stay alive long enough to get to 1, but we always want to have one whenever we can. So we're playing 4. Then we're playing 4 Azorius Charms, which are cantrip and also act as a removal spell, put an attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Then we're playing 1 Quicken. It's a little spicy. I have several times already Quicken Supreme Verdicts, which is pretty good. And it's just nice. It's like a 1-mana cantrip. It has utilities. I like having 1. Like you don't want to draw like 2 of them would be pretty bad, but 1's fine. And then we also have 4 Jace Architect of Thought. He's great. He just applies, like, makes your opponent apply a lot of pressure for aggro decks, because the +1 makes all their creatures smaller till end of turn. So they have to overextend into your Supreme Verdicts. So it's a really powerful card. And that's basically our win condition, because we only have 1 Aetherling in the main deck, and that's how we win. Or our Mutavaults, which doesn't happen too often. So usually, Jace comes down and just pluses till it hits 8, and then remove the counters and get Aetherling and their best card. And we just try to counter and remove everything they play in between. So that's the main deck. In our sideboard, we add some more counter spells. We have a 2 Dispel, which counter any instant, 2 Negate, which counter any non-creature spell. I like having 4 more. I like having counter spells. I'm a blue mage at heart. I love countering spells and controlling the board. So we bring those against like Esper and the Mirror Match. Then we have some red deck wins hate. We have 2 Yoked Ox and 4 Last Breath. Last Breath is pretty good. In that matchup, it's like usually just like a Doomblade that can permanently get rid of Chandra's Phoenixes. So it's pretty powerful. Then we have a couple of Glare Heresies. It's good against the Boros aggro decks. Also, the Mirror gets rid of Detention Sphere and Elspeth. Then we have 1 more Aetherling. Against Mono Black, like if you have an Aetherling relatively early and they Thoughtseize it, it's really hard to win. I've done it before, but it makes it harder. So having a second one on the board helps. And then Pithy Needle. This is good for the Mirror, for Mono Black. You name the land, whichever land they put Underworld Connections on. Not Underworld Connections, because that does nothing. It's also good against like the red and green devotion decks. You can either name Domri or Garruk or Xenagos. So that's the deck. I've actually been playing this a lot in real life and having success with it. I'm doing pretty well at my local tournaments. And let's see how we do with our 8-mans.